Happy Monday. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another trade recap. Lot to learn that I want to talk about today in terms of a lot of trades that I saw people take, a lot of things that I think people were shaken up about when it comes to Monday, no news, FOMC Wednesday, what was the bias, all of these kind of things. I took one trade on live today and caught, how many points was this? Caught around like 87 points, somewhere around there. Here's a screenshot of the executions on Top Step, but we'll be using TradingView and kind of run through the execution. So let's jump in. A lot of lessons that I want you to learn from today in terms of, number one, going into the week, kind of understanding that we have FOMC on Wednesday. What do I do on a day like this? Why did I decide to trade this day? A lot of people are probably like, Justin, it was a no news Monday. Why'd you trade? So we're going to talk about that as well, overall bias and everything going forward, and why I took the setup management, stuff like that. So number one, when it comes to protocol on a Monday with no news, there are days in which I will trade it, and there are days in which I won't trade it. It is simply one of those things where it, number one, all depends. There are days where I'll even look at the market, and there's days in which I won't look at the market. Today was one of those days where I looked at the market, wanted to come on because I liked where we were in price action, and I expected to maybe see something with all of the liquidity that we were generating on the downside. So we had all of these lows that were stacked up to the left of us on this bigger time frame. And this is kind of where I was suspecting, okay, maybe market wants to come back to these highs or to these lows. Maybe we want to go tap the daily for value gap first and come back into it. So when it comes to trading a no news Monday, there's some days in which I will, and there's some days in which I won't. And it all also depends on my ability to read price action and understand if there's high quality opportunity or not. Is price action actually showing efficiency? Is there a reason for price to move, or is there not? So I'm going to clear up the chart, and I want to go through and walk through the price action and just talk about my thought process throughout the entire morning and going into the day as well. So there was two main ideas that I wanted to see today. Number one, I wanted to be bullish on the bigger time frame right now, going into the morning, because we had this daily fair value gap. So that we had this daily fair value gap to the left of us. I wanted this to be the draw and possibly see the market go higher. But in my pre-market analysis that I posted in the Telegram, if you're not in the Telegram, I'll leave a link in the description. I post a free morning analysis every morning that everybody can look at. In the analysis that I sent, I said, be aware and weary of how the market reacts from this wick on the 1 hour. Most of you guys are probably drawing out buy side, right? And I am as well. Now, I have no idea if we're going to go take buy side or not. What I do know is I can expect to see a reaction from this wick. This 1 hour wick is a propulsion block. What is a propulsion block? It is basically like another form of a PD array, another form of a fair value gap, right? I want to mark out consequent encroachment, which is just the midpoint of it. And I want to see how the market reacts from this. Because a lot of the times when the market is deep in a premium range, which is, what is the range? What I mean by the premium is taking the low of here and the high of here, right? When we're deep in premium of this range. So we're deep in premium of this range, meaning below 50% is discount, above it is premium, right? If I'm looking to be bullish, me taking a long up here is very lower probability, right? So what I want to focus on is, how does the market react from that wick going into the morning? Do we want to respect it? Do we just end up pumping and going to take buy side and taking, tapping back into the daily for value gap? I'm not sure. So what do I end up doing? Well, I wait for clarity on what we actually want to do. So let's run through market open, and I'm going to explain my thought process. Let's do start new, pull this back here. Okay, so the first things that I'm noticing is I go down to the 15-minute and I'm saying, okay, well, let me mark out my liquidity. Internal buy side just got taken. We have all of this sell side resting down here, and we also have internal sell side here, and obviously the external buy side. What do we want to do? Do we want to go take the buy side? Do we want to go sweep internal liquidity and change lower? What do we want to do? Going down into the 1 minute, and we'll skip over to market open. So market opens, we initially go lower to go take out sell side. Internal sell side gets taken, which is just the internal low, stop raid, trying to stop out many people, moves higher, takes the next internal high. Why am I not taking a long here? There's probably people that saw this 1 minute fair value gap and took a long. Now, could I have maybe taken a long? No, it's not good. It's not good. When you're so deep in premium, the internal high just got taken. You're literally trying to catch an extra 30 points in this massive range that is just not going to hold, right? So the first sign is ES at this time is dumping, right? So ES is selling off and NQ is starting to have manipulation to the upside. Number one, ES did not take this high. So now we have a SMT as well from this external high, right? So there's a bearish SMT because ES did not end up taking that high and ES did not end up taking the internal high as well. So I'm probably expecting this fair value gap to get ran through. Now, at this point in time, I have no idea if this fair value gap is going to hold or not. So I'm going to continue to watch because I know that me taking a long right here isn't really high probability. Now, I was looking to see if there was an idea for a long, but it was never given because I was looking, okay, we ended up tapping it. Are we going to displace back out of it? Oh, are we going to displace back out of it? We never end up doing so. So what happens is we run the 1 minute fair value gap. And from this point in time, I zoom out my bias because what just happened? We just ran the 5 minute. So if I zoom out here, or not the 5 minute, sorry, the 1 minute. So this 1 minute fair value gap gets ran through. And what does this become on the 5 minute? A 5 minute change in the state of delivery. So I look at the 5 minute and I say, okay, we have consequent encroachment on the 1 hour wick right now is getting respected. Right? Meaning everybody's chasing buy side, trying to see us go higher when they're not recognizing price action. We end up rejecting that, and the 5 minute starts to get displaced through. Right? So boom, candle comes in, we end up selling off. This to me is a clear market maker sell model. It's a clear market maker sell model. Internal buy side gets taken. We're respecting consequent encroachment like a bigger time frame fair value gap, a area that the market is rejecting, and we have all of this sell side below us. So now what happens? What is my model? SMT, high gets taken, change in the state of delivery, pull back to an inefficiency. So I zoom into the 1 minute. Where's my inefficiency that gets opened up? Right here. 1 minute for value gap. Bada bing, bada boom. This is my SIBI. And I end up taking a short. So I take a short in this for value gap, and my stop loss was at the candle high of this inefficiency. So this two inefficiencies, because keep in mind there's a small one right here. So I put it on the candle. I don't. You can put it literally either here at the candle high or the wick. It doesn't really matter. I don't want to see the market go there anyway. So this was the initial entry I took, and I'm targeting looking to scale out along the way to these lows. Now, a lot of people watching this were scared because ES had taken the low already. And there's going to be comments saying, Justin, and I'm going to answer because I already know someone's going to ask it. Justin, why did you take a short against the bullish SMT? ES had already taken that low at the time. There's a bullish SMT there, Justin. Why are you taking the long? Guess what? I don't give a frick if there's an SMT there because an SMT does not matter if there is no price action to relate it to. Meaning, read price action for what it's showing you. Consequent encroachment got respected. Truth. Fair value gap gets ran through. 5 minute change in the state. There's sell side below us. Which means NQ is most likely going to play sick sister. Sick sister means it's going to end up catching up to ES. ES is leading the correlated assets. ES is selling off. NQ will end up catching up to it. So I take this short because number one, it's a great model. Even if the SMT ends up hold, let's say I'm wrong. I'm still okay with taking this loss because it's great risk reward and it's a great confirmation and it's a great model. When I look at the 5 minute, this to me is dumb clear to expect to see a market maker sell model, especially when you see how we react from this wick, right? Big 1 hour wick, we come up, we respect consequent encroachment, and we start selling back off. This to me is a clear market maker sell model that the market wants to go lower. Take my entry. Again, let's remember one more time, refresh, buy side taken, 5 minute change in the state of delivery, pull back to an inefficiency. But the main thing you also got to realize too is what's the logic? Why should the market actually sell off? The market should sell off because there's all this liquidity down here, right? There's a reason for the market to draw lower. So market, enter short. We start to sit here a little bit. We come up. What do? We take out internal high and then we break lower again. So boom, high gets taken. And then we have another internal model change. This is an area in which you can add to the position, right? Why is this an add? Because this is the internal model, right? Generated low, market comes up to that fair value gap, takes the internal high, breaks below the series of down close candles, and we end up continuing lower from here. And therefore, value gap gets opened, and we end up continuing lower. So I take partials, and I'm out. I was all out already here. So this was the trade that I ended up taking today. And keep in mind, too, also, I did move my stop. So, huge thing I want to cover. Huge thing I want to cover. Management of this trade. When ES takes all of the lows, I don't know if we're going to bounce or not. I'm expecting us not to because I don't think that there's a reason to. And I'm going to just let the trade go. But I'm not going to trade my ego and my thoughts. I'm going to trade reality. And the reality is when ES takes this internal low, NQ takes the internal low, but ES ends up taking all the external lows. So there is a bigger time frame bullish SMT. So at this point in time, I do move my stop to break even when NQ takes the internal low right there. So when NQ sells off and we take the internal low here first, and there isn't now a bigger time frame bullish SMT because ES had ran these equal lows as well, I move my stop to break even and I just let the market do its thing. And we end up following through and selling off. So that was key management as well. Yeah. Overall, I think that this was a solid trade. Now, when it comes to like anybody who's freaking out and is like, Justin, it's a no news Monday. There's FOMC on Wednesday. Why would you trade this? I don't know if the market's going to provide opportunity or not, right? And I have the ability to control myself to say, is this good or is this bad? And still put on sufficient risk, right? I didn't risk a crazy amount on this trade. So I put on decent risk because I really like the model. And you never expect what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. Is there a lower probability of higher efficiency on a Monday? Yeah. Did we get high efficiency today? Yeah, right? But only because I could recognize what the market wanted to do and it was clear to me. So don't be too caught up in like it's a no news Monday. Now, if your data tells you obviously that you suck on trading no news Mondays and you're journaling, then you should not be trading no news Mondays. But today for me was one of those things where I was going into the day most likely expecting to not take a trade, but then it was given to me and I was like, okay, this looks good. I'm going to take a trade, right? And it ends up playing out. So you never know how the market's going to provide opportunity. If I'm just like so set on my rules, then there's no room for me to actually trade, right? I think too many people are like, your rules need to be guiding you and not controlling you, right? Because then you don't use discretion. Discretion is literally the number one thing in trading, is my ability to actually have discernment to make a decision or not. Because guess what? What happens is there might be an absolute perfect setup in front of you, and you are like, oh, internally and subconsciously, you're like, I know exactly what the market's going to do right now. But then you don't take it because you're like, oh, but I already am. I'm past my 11 o'clock window. I'm past my. I hit my 2 trades on a day. Like, risk lower. Like, if the trade's right in front of your fucking face, your rules are meant to make sure you don't blow up. It's not to be like, get in line, soldier. Make sure you're fucking following your rules. Like, you need to use discretion. Use discretion. Use discernment. And be able to be flexible, right? Be flexible with how the market is going to provide you opportunity because it's going to look different here and there. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this trade recap. I'm currently in Miami right now, so I've been a little bit away working on some other business ventures and some stuff. TradePath has crazy things coming, which I'm very excited about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what trades that you guys took today. If you did, if you took this trade, if you had a loss, whatever you had today. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This also was taken live in the mentorship. The mentorship right now is closed. It's been closed for the last month because we've been just focusing on our students that we have. I plan on reopening it in December and bringing on new students. Again, this is people that anybody who actually wants to take this seriously. I'm very intimate with my students in terms of me helping them, not just in their trading, but in their life, in their mindset, in their psychology, in their relationships. Like my goal is you are my main focus when you're my student. So, we will be opening it back up later in December. So those spots will go very quick. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe and much love. Peace.